Welcome to our video about the fascinating world of Pokemon and their placement on the Tree of Life. Today, we take a closer look at Diglett and its relationship with all Loriciotheria species. Ready? Let's go! Furunculata is a grand order of placental mammals that groups together mirror-order Fieri and clade Panuungulata. It has existed in two guises, a traditional one based on morphological analysis and a revised one taking into account more recent molecular analyses. The Furunculata is a sister group to the order Chiroptera, bats, and together they make clade Scrotifera. According to a 2022 study by and E. Court, members of Grand Order Furunculata, in addition to their genetic similarities, share common synapomorphy in the lumbar vertebrae, the S-shaped postzygapophysis. In extant furungulate mammals, this is known only within members of order Artiodactyla. However, this feature is found also in many extinct members of Furunculata, including hyenodonts, oxyenids, mesonychids, arctocyanids, and the stem relatives of perissodactyls, like Cambatherium. This synapomorphy suggests that this may be basal to all Furunculata and secondarily lost in modern members, like carnivorans and crown perissodactyla. Previous study has shown that these S-shaped zygapophyses prevent torsion between vertebrae. As said in this study, it is possible this feature evolved in response to a need for stabilization in posterior spine as ribs became reduced. Also, in this and several other 2022 studies, the extinct Eutherians Pantodonts, Tylodonts, and genus Deltatherium, family Deltatheridae, are recognized as crown group placental mammals, who also possess S-shaped postzygapophysis like other members of Furunculata. The traditional Furunculata was established by George Gaylord Simpson in 1945. It grouped together the extant orders Carnivora, Perissodactyla, and Artiodactyla with the Tubulidentata and the superorder Painungulata, as well as a number of orders known only from fossils. Simpson established the grouping on the basis of morphological criteria, but this traditional understanding of Furunculata has been challenged by a more recent classification, relying upon genetic criteria. These studies separated his ungulate orders into two distinct placental groups, within Afrotheria and Loriciotheria, respectively. The true ungulates, mirror-order Eungulata, Perissodactyla, and Artiodactyla, are included in the revised group, along with the Carnivora, and with the addition of pangolins, order Phalidota, but the Tubulidentata and Painungulates are excluded. Although Simpson placed whales, Cetacea, in a separate cohort, recent evidence linking them to Artiodactyla would mean that they belong here as well. To reflect this difference, the revised clade is usually referred to as Furunculata. The karyotypes of Furungulates are highly conserved. The Furungulatan ancestor chromosomes differ from those of the antecedent Scrotiferan ancestor by 5 rearrangements that occurred over 1 mi, citation excluded. For the Furungulatan ancestor, we discovered 4 ancestral syntonies. Point coloration has been observed in a wide variety of Furungulates, including cats, foxes, horses, and dogs. The Insectivores are an order of mammals. They are a diverse group of relatively small animals, adapted to a predatory lifestyle with their teeth. Systematically, they are among the most controversial mammal groups and have a tumultuous history of classification. In the systematics used here, 5 families are included: the hedgehogs, Aranaceidae, the shrews, Cericidae, the moles, Talpidae, the solenodons, Solenodontidae, and the extinct Caribbean shrews, Nesophantidae, although the inclusion of hedgehogs in this group is disputed. Other families, such as the tenrecs and the golden moles, which show great similarities in body structure and were previously considered part of this group, are no longer included based on molecular genetic studies. Unlike many other mammal groups, insectivores do not have clear diagnostic key characteristics that distinguish them from other mammals. The head-body length of insectivores varies between 3 and 45 centimeters, and their weight ranges from 2 grams to 2 kilograms. Particularly, shrews are small, with the Etruscan shrew being one of the smallest mammals overall. The largest representatives include the giant gymnor and the solenodons. Their fur is short and usually soft, with only the spiny hedgehogs having spines on their upper side as an effective means of defense. The fur color is typically in inconspicuous shades of gray or brown. These animals often have skin glands in various parts of their bodies, with anal glands present in all species. The limbs of insectivores are short and relatively unspecialized except for the digging tools of moles. The forelimbs and hind limbs are approximately the same length, and the feet end in 5 toes. Thumbs and big toes cannot be opposed to the other toes. Most insectivores are plantigrade. The skull is elongated and flat, particularly the facial skull extends forward. The snout is long and flexible, the eyes are usually small, and the ear pinnae are often reduced. The teeth of insectivores are equipped with sharp cusps and enamel ridges, well adapted to their carnivorous diet. Most species have relatively many teeth, and in some moles and hedgehogs, the original number of 44 teeth of higher mammals has been preserved. Per jaw half, their dentition includes 1 to 3 incisors, 1 canine in the upper jaw and 1 or none in the lower jaw, 2 to 4 premolars, and 3 molars. This results in a total of 26 to 44 teeth, as indicated in the adjacent dental formula. The arrangement and structure of the teeth vary. The cusps of the rear molars are mostly W-shaped, dilambdodont, and only V-shaped, zolambdodont, in the solenodons. There is a general tendency towards the reduction of milk teeth. In many species, the newborns are already born with their permanent teeth, or they break through shortly after birth. Except for the slow loris, Nycticebus, and the platypus, all other poisonous mammals are insectivores. The solenodons, and some shrew species, produce a neurotoxin in their salivary glands that helps them overpower larger prey. The brain of many insectivores is simply built and small compared to their body mass, but the olfactory bulb is well developed. The small brain was previously considered a sign of their primitiveness, but today it is associated with their lifestyle. In other mammal groups, species that live primarily on the ground and rely mainly on their sense of smell have a comparatively small brain. In subterranean or aquatic insectivores, the brain is correspondingly larger and more differentiated. The most important role in finding food is played by the sense of smell, which is excellently developed in most insectivores. Hearing is also good, and many shrew species, and possibly the solenodons, are capable of echolocation. They emit series of high-pitched squeaks, which they use to explore their habitat. It is unclear whether echolocation is also used to detect prey. As tactile organs, long whiskers in the face serve this purpose, and moles have additional whiskers on their tails. The snout region is rich in tactile sensory cells, and the Eimers organ on the snout of moles is particularly sensitive. With this organ, they can perceive not only tactile stimuli but also electrical ones, meaning they can feel the weak electric fields generated by the muscle movements of their prey. This organ is most pronounced in the finger-like skin appendages of the star-nosed mole. The sense of sight, however, plays only a minor role in all insectivores. The digestive tract is very simply built. The cecum is always absent, a feature that was previously used for systematic classification. The intestine is a simple tube and very short, compared to body length. The range of insectivores covers Eurasia, Africa, as well as North and Central America. They are absent in South America except for the small-eared shrews that inhabit the northwestern part of the continent, and they are also absent in the Australasian region. Shrews are widespread throughout the aforementioned area, hedgehogs are found only in the Old World, Eurasia and Africa, and moles in Eurasia and North America. Solenodons and the extinct Caribbean shrews are restricted to the Caribbean islands. Insectivores inhabit a variety of habitats and are found in forests, grasslands, and dry habitats. They generally avoid very cold areas. Most insectivores are terrestrial, ground dwellers. Some species can climb well, but there are no pronounced tree dwellers among them. Several representatives, such as water shrews and desmans, are adapted to an aquatic lifestyle. They can swim well and show adaptations to this lifestyle with webbed feet, flattened tails, and water-repellent fur. Many species of moles, as well as some shrews, lead an underground burrowing lifestyle. The social behavior of most species is not very pronounced, and most insectivores live solitarily outside the mating season. They are often territorial and react very aggressively towards conspecifics, with encounters sometimes resulting in fights. Some species are both diurnal and nocturnal, while others primarily search for food at night. As resting places, they dig their own burrows, take over those of other animals, or use other protected spots such as rock crevices, holes in the ground, or similar places. They often make nests out of dried leaves and grasses in these places. Some synanthropic species can also be found in human dwellings. Short periods of mild torpor occur in some species, such as certain shrews. Hedgehogs in temperate regions undergo a longer hibernation. Insectivores primarily feed on insects and their larvae, other arthropods, and various worms. Sometimes they also consume small vertebrates, snakes, lizards, frogs, fish, and others, and carrion. To a lesser extent, they also eat plant material like fruits, seeds, and nuts. The lack of clear diagnostic characteristics also leads to significant uncertainty regarding the fossil and evolutionary history of insectivores. Fossils that cannot be clearly identified as close relatives of recent forms are therefore often controversial. Several groups that may represent ancestors or relatives of insectivores have been known since the Cretaceous and Paleocene, such as the Leptictida, the Paleorictidae, and the Nyctotheriidae. Littlestes, a relative of the hedgehogs from the Upper Paleocene about 60 to 56 million years ago, is the oldest known relatively secure representative of insectivores. It lived in North America, as did the hedgehog-like Leapsanalists from the Lower Eocene, which was likely also among the ancestors or relatives of insectivores. Shrews have been known since the Middle Eocene and moles since the Late Eocene. By the Oligocene and Miocene at the latest, forms of these three groups were known from all continents within their present distribution range, with shrews likely only reaching South America in the Pliocene when the Isthmus of Panama land connection closed. There are no fossil finds of solenodons and Caribbean shrews older than the Pleistocene. That's it for now. In the next episode, we'll take a closer look at Dugtrio and continue to break down the relationship in Loriciotheria. Feel free to subscribe to our channel, leave a like, and check in next time.